Bob Winter, are you ready to present to Gary Schwartz? I think I gave you ample time to get up here.
Gary Schwartz. As a 6'1", 185-pound Wessington Springs athlete, Schwartz set a state record in the discus, 190 feet, 7.5 inches, at the Howard Wood Dakota Relays in 1962, a distance that was the best in the nation at the time and broke the meet record by almost 30 feet. He also set the state record in the shot put, 56 1/4. In college, he helped Kansas to 3 Big 8 titles and was conference discus champ as a junior. Then began a 34-year career as an NCAA Division I cross-country and track coach that earned him 10 Region Coach of the Year awards, as well as the Division I Outdoor Track and Field Coach of the Year in 1983. Schwartz was a head coach for 21 years, 5 at Penn State, 4 at Tennessee, and 12 at Kansas. He coached 6 teams to top 4 finishes at the NCAA championships, and he coached 8 Olympians. He also served on 4 coaching staffs for U.S. teams in international competition, and Schwartz was president of the U.S. Track Coaches Association from 1992 to 1996.
This is unbelievable, as I'm sure all the inductees feel about this. Dave, I just want to tell you that Jimmy Higgins called me this week. He's a cardiologist in Tulsa, and just to wish me well. And just a sidelight before I get started, if you remember the video of Billy Mills finishing the 10,000 in the Olympics and how excited that announcer got, he was fired after that race. I mean, you think about all the announcers now, and Eric, I don't know if you get that excited when you are on TV, but I mean, that was one of the most exciting finishes I've ever seen. So it was awesome. As I left the table twice, my wife Myrna, who is my rock, whispered in my ear, "Now make sure you stand up tall to be seen, speak up to be heard, and sit down very quickly to be appreciated." So we'll do that. I want to congratulate all the inductees. It is a tremendous group of individuals. I'm in awe when and I've been able to attend and watch other people go into various halls of fame and listen to their stories and see all the things that they've done, and it really is pretty overwhelming. And I think Dave said, how do you condense a career into, what is it now, Jerry, 6 minutes? 5.5? 5.5, okay. Better roll on. And of course, we need to thank the sponsors. Without sponsors, we don't have things like this. And most of all, to thank the South Dakota Sports Hall of Fame nominating committee board, whoever it was that nominated me. This is one of my favorite things. There's only one other title that I've received in my career that I cherish maybe more, and that's to be called coach. And I really feel strongly about that. I have been blessed with extremely great fortune in my career, in my life in athletics, as an athlete and as a coach and as an official and now as an administrator. The last thing I thought I'd ever end up with, Bob Winter, is being an administrator. As a coach, I probably had a few things to say about administrators in my life. The other thing about speaking toward the end is all, the people that have gone before you say all the good stuff. So, and there's been some really good stuff said. I want to talk just about the reasons why people are successful. In my work with the United States Olympic Committee and the USA Track and Field, which is the governing body for track and field and cross country in the United States, we talk to Olympic athletes and counsel them and talk to them about having a good support staff surrounding them. And that goes from parents to sports medicine staff to all the stuff. But they need a really good support staff in order to do the things that they do. Well, very obviously, I wouldn't be standing up here without my mother and father's contribution. My father passed away in 1990, and I agree, Dave, I hope he's up there watching somewhere. My mom, who was supposed to come tonight, she's going to be 91 this summer, didn't feel too well today, and so she didn't travel down. But my sister Judy is here. My other sister Joanne is in Houston with her family, and my sister Cheryl is also looking down. We lost her this July. Huge sports fan. My own family, my wife, Myrna, will you please stand? Love of my life. 43 years of marriage. The girl next door, no, actually not next door, across the street. We dated for 8 years before we got married. That's another story we don't need to go into, but, and I'd like to introduce my sons, Mike, whose wife Maureen and little son Dane couldn't be with us. Stand up, Mike. And Matt and his wife Jennifer, who is chasing around our other little grandson, Ollie. I think she's in the back. So if you see some little kid crawling under the tables, that's probably who it is. I think the other reasons that I have had great fortune is I grew up in a small community, Wesleyan Springs. Went to a small high school. Was able to do lots of different activities. You know, I went to All-State Chorus. I got to go to Boy State. I participated in everything except home ec and FFA, I think. FFH, excuse me. I had some great coaches and teachers. Gene Nelson, Bob Brooks, John Vanderwall, and Jerry Anschutz. Would you stand up, Jerry? And three of those, Gene Nelson, Bob Brooks, and Jerry Anschutz, all graduated from Yankton College. That's kind of an interesting type of deal. Jerry helped me out a lot. He came in fresh out of college. And one of the things he was so committed in doing was he and my dad and I drove out to LA. I got selected for an all-star track meet out in LA, and we drove out there in his Chevy station wagon, hit a deer in Utah. I'm not sure how long we were holed up, but I know we had to replace a radiator or something like that. I had great role models, and three of the good ones are here. Bob Winter, you just saw, Tom Clute, and Russell Kidman. Russell Kidman was tragically killed in a car accident a few years ago. But Russell taught me, basically, got me interested in shot put and discus, told me, and this is interesting back at that time in 58, 59, that I had to prepare myself physically, mentally, and get good grades. Now, we take those things for granted, but he instilled that in me. One thing I'll never forget, Tom Clute, and these guys all kept me humble, as upperclassmen are supposed to do. In football practice, I was like cannon fodder. I was either in the 8th or 9th grade. I was playing defensive tackle. Tom and a guy by the name of Norg Sanderson were playing guard and tackle across from me. Jimmy Dwyer, who was a really great halfback, running back for Washington Springs, was in the backfield. Snapped the ball. Tom stepped aside, Norg stepped aside, and Jimmy ran over me. I've never been hit so hard in my whole life. I've got my classmates and teammates here, Dennis McEldowney, Dick Easton, Rich Clemenson and Gene Bauer. It means a lot to me that these guys will come and drive here to be here with me. We had a lot of fun in high school. We did some good things. We got the snot beat out of us as juniors up at Mobridge. We were in a rebuilding year. So high school was glorious. And the interesting thing, sport-wise, how much time I got, Jerry? I'm 1 minute over, okay. But Sonny was so short. I'll finish this up really quickly. Where was I? Yeah, 1 minute over. It's been awesome. One thing we're talking about with a couple other people, and I'll get out of here and out of your hair. How circumstances or one particular thing can change your life. My throw here at the Howard Wood Relays probably changed my life literally. I would have probably gone, good schools, South Dakota State, played football and track, or the U. But throwing that distance opened my eyes. I was recruited and, had some awesome mentors as coaches, had some great assistant coaches, and had some incredible student athletes, and the rest, they say, is history. So I am, very blessed. Thank you so much for having me here, and dream big.